lost right now, I really encourage you to jump. Whatever it is that you're scared as hell of doing, do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kiera and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome. Hey girl or guy, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. If you are a return subscriber, as always, thanks so much for watching me. Now that's out the way. So we're gonna talk about feeling lost in your 20s and how to basically figure out what you want to do with your life. I think that a lot of times, I'm a minority, so I'm going to speak from I don't want to say minority perspective because every minority, hasn't gone through what I've gone through, but I will speak from my own personal perspective. And I will say that a lot of times there's a lot of emphasis on going to college or the military. And I know for me growing up, those were like my only two options, was college or military. Or I knew I would be home and like be stuck just working to death. And so I chose the military, and I always wanted to go to college, but I needed a way to pay for it. So I chose to go to the military to help me pay for college. That was like one of my ultimate reasons, and I did that. I would say I did feel lost a lot of times in my 20s. When I joined the military, I was 17 years old, and I was lost as hell. As soon as I got off that bus at basic training, I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into? And I had to realize my big why. So I would say, like, when you're trying to figure out what it is you want to do and you're feeling lost and you don't know which way to go, I will always say, like, sit down and really think about your why. Your why. What do you feel like is your purpose for wanting to be where you want to be? And figure out, I say come up with 3 things at least. At least 3 things. If you can get 5 to 10, that's absolutely awesome. But if you can get at least 3 things that you would really want to do down, and literally write out a plan for these things. Like, if you want to be, let's say, a nurse, write nurse at the top of your paper and write what you got to do to get there. So what do you have to do? You have to, go to school. Do you need to get a certain certification first? You got to have certain prereqs first, and break it down into like, okay, I need to complete this. And then even go further. Like, okay, well, I got to go to school. So what do I need? How long is it going to take? How much is going to cost? Like all those things, and literally break it down. Because the thing of it is sometimes we are like surface thinkers. So we think of these things that we want to do, but we don't think about the work that it takes to get there. And then we go after these things. And then when we're faced with the work, we give up. We don't want to do it. We get burnt out. So setting realistic expectations. My second piece of advice will also be to find someone in that field. Find someone that you wouldn't mind. Somebody once told me this quote. They said, never take advice from anybody that you wouldn't trade places with. So I would say, whatever you aspire to be, or if you're feeling lost, find someone who has been there before. Find someone who is doing what you aspire to be. Pick their brain. All you have to do is, if you don't know how to approach them, ask them, hey, let's say if you met them off like social media or something. Hey, I came across your page. You really inspire me. Do you mind if I take you to lunch sometime? Or we grab lunch together sometime? And pick their brain the whole time. Take advantage of like every single second that person gives you. And even if they don't want to go to lunch with you, like, hey, you mind if we get on a phone call? Let them tell you no. That's the worst thing that can happen, is like they tell you no. Let them tell you no. I am a big advocate, like a huge advocate of mentors. And it doesn't have to be someone who has the title mentor, but someone who you aspire to be like, and they've been through the stages, and they can help you, whether that's with your relationship, your marriage, your finances, your careers, your sports, as a parent, buying your first car, going to college, finding people who, especially in college, like finding someone, maybe a senior, maybe someone who's already graduated, someone that you already work with, and picking their brain and say, how did you get where you getting? Or if you even go into an interview, I find that you go into an interview and they're going to ask you what they want to ask you. They're automatically judging you off rip. And I'm not going to say we because I'm not there anymore, but we have this mentality that we got to get this job. Oh, y'all pray for me. I got an interview today. And we go in there trying to please them. But what about yourself? Because you also owe yourself a space that is right for you. So just like they're going to ask you 1,000,001 questions to see if you're a good fit, why aren't you asking them 1,000,001 questions to see if they're a good fit? And I think like that, even if you didn't get the job, you still learn something in that aspect. You may have even created like a relationship. People like when people do things that aren't the norm. People like when people take the extra step in situations, and you will be surprised at some of the bonds and relationships that you will create with people just off of being that person that's brave enough to ask what everybody else won't ask. And sometimes to get what everybody else doesn't have, or to get where very few get, you have to do some things that you never done before and that those people won't do. And so that's always my piece of advice, is to always think of it in terms of, is this benefiting me? Because we could go to jobs all day long, and we could work all day long, and we can make money all day long. But if we never have time to even take that money and go spend it, we never have time to spend with our families, we never have time to go on vacation or go buy the things that we truly want to do. It's just, even if we get the things, we don't have time for it because we got to work. Are you truly winning? Like, really think about that. And if you're feeling lost in your life, like you have no direction, you don't know where to go, reach out and ask God for guidance. And I know everyone isn't, religious. Some people are spiritual. Whatever you believe in, reach out and ask for guidance. Even if you don't believe in a higher power, reach out, like I said, to those people who may be able to guide you. And even if they won't be able to guide you, I'm sure they know someone who can. And don't be afraid to ever take no for an answer. No is actually okay. And everyone is not meant to be in your path or to give you guidance and advice. So don't be afraid to say no, and don't be afraid to take no. Keep going until you find that person that says, yes, I'll happily go out to lunch with you. Yes, I'll happily hop on a phone call with you. Yes, how can I help you like today? Like, what are you looking for? And find those people. Find those people who truly want to see you get there. And I always say, like, encourage people to find people that may have come from a different walk of life than you, or a different background. Maybe even someone who doesn't necessarily look like you. And, pick their brain. I just feel like a lot of times in my life, I felt stuck. And I felt like I had no guidance. I felt like I didn't know what to do. And honestly, I didn't really think that people... First of all, I never thought to reach out to people. I always felt like that was just bothering people. And I never thought to, like, pick people's brains or... Well, I will do that. I would do that, like, if I was, like, one-on-one with the person or in the same room as the person. But, like, just some random person, asking them out to lunch or asking for coffee. I never really thought of that because I had a different level of thinking. Just as a young person, as my background, where I was at in my life, people who I surrounded myself with. Think about this, y'all. You are an average of the top, or the 5 people that you hang around with the most. Let that sink in. You are an average. You are an average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. Let that sink in. And, there's nothing wrong with outgrowing people. There's nothing wrong with changing your circle. There's nothing wrong with elevation. And when it gets time to elevate, it's time to separate. And it doesn't mean that you can't still be friends with that person. But if you're not where you want to be in your life, you should probably look in the mirror and then take a look around. And it's a hard pill to swallow. But what does your goals even align with the person that you're around? Does your mindset, like, y'all may not have the same goals, but do they want to elevate just as well as you, or are they just cool where they're at? And and it's important to know who you put yourself around, because it's going to influence you. Like, if you go to the gym and everybody in there like busting their ass, you know what? You're probably going to bust your ass. If you're hanging around 9 people who have careers or working towards a career, making straight A's, working really, really hard, very, very motivated and encouraging and loving, you're probably going to be the 10th person like that. 9 times out of 10. So just being mindful of who you're around. And it's okay to feel lost. I think we all feel lost in our life, but no one's really truly lost. It's just a mindset. It's just a mindset. It's all on how you look at it. Like they say, are you looking at the glass half full or the glass half empty? So we're not ever lost. It's a mindset. We get to a point where we feel like, dang, what do we do? I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I don't know how I'm going to pay this. I don't know how I'm going to go to college. That was my mindset. And I had to get out of that and start thinking of, how can I go to college? Okay, so I joined the military. I knew that they had, educational programs. Then when I got to college, I was like, how am I going to support myself? I got a job. I had to not play sports, not to do any extracurricular activities. And honestly, that probably robbed me of a lot of my, college experiences. But I knew if that was something I wanted to do, this is what I needed to do to be able to make that possible for myself. So I think, like, sometimes we have to get out of the mindset of, like, this is what it is, and then shifting our mindset to, how do I change it? Or shifting our mindset from, dang, I don't know how I'm going to do this, to, I get to do blah, 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 blah. Or, dang, I got to go to work today. I get to go to work today. I'm happy I get to go to work today. It's all a mindset. Like, feeling lost, it's a mindset. Lost from what? There's ample opportunities out here. We get 24 hours in a day. There's 1,000,001 people out here that are willing to pour into you. And if you're feeling lost, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to find those people. Because those people are who are going to help you to realize that you're not lost. You're just misguided. Or you maybe, and I don't mean this like, oh, you're an ignorant person, but maybe you are ignorant to, where you're headed. Maybe you can't see where you're headed. Maybe you don't know what it takes, on that path. And why I said it's important to sit down and really figure out, a plan. And there's nothing wrong with messing up. There's nothing wrong with being transparent. Nobody succeeded without, some sort of failure or some sort of, downfall, messing up. No one succeeded that way. People succeeded by messing up, by doing what others won't do, by doing the things that scare the hell out of them, by falling and still getting up. Those are the people who succeed and go very, very far, are the people who aren't afraid to just jump. And then they just figure it out whenever they can. So if you're feeling lost right now, I really encourage you to jump. Jump. Whatever it is that you're scared as hell of doing, do it. If you're scared of leaving your hometown because you don't know how you're going to make a way, do it and figure it out. If you're scared to leave your job and to go after your true dreams, do it and figure it out. The last thing you'd want to do is be on your deathbed and be like, dang, I wish I would have done this. Dang, I wish I would have done that. Don't let the thoughts of other people or the words of other people deter you from doing exactly what you want to do. Don't even let society standards deter you from what you want to do. Go after what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, That kind of like didn't roll off my tongue right. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And we all have a choice. Like I said, it's a mindset. You get to choose. You get to choose how you live your life. And, you know, if you want to go out here and you want to, you know, live a fulfilled life, doing something that you absolutely love, doing something that will create the opportunity to have more experiences with your family and your loved ones, to create a life that you see more fit for yourself. You know, if you see that, go do what that looks like. Go be around people who do those things. So if you didn't take anything else from this video, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling afraid, I encourage you today to make the choice to tell yourself that you're not lost and you're not afraid. You are bold. And I encourage you to make that choice every day that you wake up. I am bold, and today I'm going to do one thing that puts me closer to where I want to be. But the first step is to identify where you want to be, and then write out a plan for those things. And every day, take one step, at least one step, towards that. And if y'all watched this video to the end, thank you so much for watching. My camera is actually dying, so I'm going to have to go. But really think about that, y'all. Really think about that. Because it's time to wake up and live your life the way you see fit. And God has put us all on this earth for a reason. And it's time for us to walk in our God-given purpose. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Toodle doodles.